Hi everyone, it's Dov Lipman, a fellow proud father of an IDF soldier. My 26-year-old son is in the IDF reserves. When I think back to when he joined the army, and I was thinking about the fact that I'm blessed to have a son in the Israeli army, it suddenly hit me that in the Torah itself, it mentions the idea of young Jews going to the army more times than it mentions Shabbat, more times than it mentions kashrut, more times than it mentions most mitzvot. It is so clear that it is essential to who we are as a people, that God says that we have an army to protect us and to fight for us. That shows us the level of priority that this has in terms of what we must do as Jews and why we can all be so proud that we have sons and daughters who are fighting for the Jewish people and who are in the IDF. One of the things that people have been talking a lot about during this time period has been the unity that's been generated amongst the people in Israel. And it's true. It's incredible how we went from pulling ourselves apart in such terrible polarization to incredible unity right now. But the unity that we see the most is in the army, where we see right-wing, left-wing, religious, secular, all working together, brothers and sisters with such love and such camaraderie. And they are the example to all of us throughout Israel about the unity that we need to have. And we know that that unity is the key to our success as a people. And all of our children are modeling that for all of the Jewish people and for all of Israel. I travel around often. I meet with soldiers in the north, in the south, in Yehuda, in Shomron, in all different places. And I see their incredible morale, how committed they are to this mission. There is a sense of we must take care of this. We must win this fight. And they're all in this together. And there's a story that just took place a few days ago in Ra'anana. There were 15 Golani soldiers who were let out of the army to go to the funeral of their commander. And they were sitting outside a cafe eating some lunch after the funeral was over. And they were all very, very down, of course, as their commander was killed. And a woman walked by and saw them there and said, where are you from? Where are you serving? And they said, we're Golani soldiers. We're serving in Gaza, but we just came from the funeral of our commander. The woman didn't ask another question. She walked inside the cafe and she paid their entire bill. And the soldiers said afterwards that they were so down and in such a bad place. And in that one moment, they were lifted up because they remembered what they are fighting for the goodness of the people of Israel, for this fight of good versus evil, of kindness versus the horrible, horrible attacks and actions taken by our enemies, of light versus darkness. And our soldiers really, really feel that they are fighting that fight. And all of you can be so proud that you have children who are part of that battle and are taking the side of good versus evil and dedicating themselves and committing themselves to this battle. When I think about the fact that we have an IDF and our children are serving the IDF, I think of one picture. I was blessed to have a grandmother, Allah Shalom, who survived the Holocaust. And there's a moment when my son knocked on her door outside of Israel, wearing his uniform as a commander in Golani. And we have a picture of them together. And my grandmother had a lot of sadness in her life. She knew how to be happy. But I've never seen a smile on her face like she had in that picture. A survivor of Auschwitz-Birkenau who has a great grandson who's a commander in the Israel Defense Forces. All of us, all of you who have children who are serving in the army, you are the fulfillment of prayers and dreams of our ancestors for generations who hoped and yearned but couldn't really believe that it would happen. That we are in our homeland with our own army. And our children, our grandchildren, are blessed to be in that position. With all the anxiety and with all the stress and with all the fear that all of us as parents of soldiers feel, let's take a step back and remember that. The blessing that we have, that we live in a time when we can have our homeland and we can have our own army, and we are blessed to have children who see that as their highest value and they are the soldiers for the people of Israel and for all the Jewish people. I'm praying for all of our children, wishing for their success. May all of us be blessed to share good news one to the other. Chazak ve'amatz, and let's be proud of our children and what they are doing and the role that they are playing in the destiny and the future of the Jewish people and the state of Israel.